right. So, what's up, everybody? Um, Today we're going to be going over a few different things. The first is the major thing, which is like roof boards, which are you get the roof, and then you get the boards right underneath that kind of support it, and then of course there's beams underneath that. But it all kind of comes together, because they're all created in pretty much the same fashion, and I'm going to show you how. Um, I'm also going to be tossing in some bonus because I did say I was going to get this video out this past Sunday, but it didn't quite happen. So I'm going to throw in some bonus stuff towards the end, and I think you'll really, really, really want to check that out. So definitely stay tuned for that once we get to it. So let's go ahead and dive right in. And basically what I'm going to show you is this right here, and it gives this really cool layering effect in there, and you can kind of come in and chop boards out and stuff like that, so it looks like one board here, one board there, and that sort of thing. But that's kind of up to you to play with. But let's go ahead and kind of dive right in on how to do this here. It's actually a lot simpler than you would think. So let's make a platform. This will be the bottom edge of our roof, or the boxing, and of course the next little piece that I put up is going to be the roof cap, or what would be the highest point of the roofing here. And go ahead and put this in here, and these are just placeholders. We won't be working with this after this portion of it, but we will need that spacing between the two afterwards. So I took my line tool and click the bottom, click the top, that way I can get my angle in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that section out of it here to here. I'm going to copy this out, bring this over to the side, paste. I'm going to paste this down. I'm going to make basically two pieces out of this one. One's going to be a front deletion, and the other is going to be a back deletion. The one will be the outside of the roof, and one will be the inside of the roof. So let's paste that down. I'm going to drag this backwards by 2 voxels. And if you notice, my base pieces were 4x4. The top was a 4x4. So that kind of tells me how far I want to split this apart. And as long as it's an even number, you take 2 off one side, 2 off the other, or 3 off one side, 3 off the other, depending on how thick you want this to be. Alright, so now that I have my 2 pieces of my roof section laid down, I drop this back by 2. I press F to go into deletion mode, and we delete the back section. I'm going to scroll this back into position. Oops. Hitting the wrong button there. Sorry about that. Put this back into position. Overlay this one with the other one there. Except this time I'm going to go forward. So 1, 2. And you would think they should be the same no matter what. They probably are, but this is more of a visual reference, so you'll know which one we're kind of working with, which one's which. Plus it kind of saves you a step, especially in the painting process. You can go ahead and get stuff painted and kind of get it ready for the next part. This outside section, which would be the outside of the roof, let's go ahead and paint it thatch. Alright, so now we're at this, and this was our original that we pulled it off of the angle. And this up here is the actual separation of not only the outside from the inside. Now we need to actually create the actual boards that are going to be separated through it. Different ways to do it. The way that I'm going to show you how to do it, it's going to make it a lot easier to actually kind of play with, be able to merge it with other sections. So the first thing that we have to do is create a panel. So To do that, we're going to create, just like in one of my other videos, we are going to create a checkerboard. This is going to allow us to create a panel fairly quickly and get it the size that we're actually wanting for this. So we'll make this little section here. Let's paste this down. Now I'm going to double this up so we get something like that. And now I'm going to select the whole thing and I'm going to start smoothing it. 1, 2, 3. I got this at 3 right now, and if you can see, this is what the gap is going to be in between my boards. That's 3. I don't think I really want to go that far, so I'm going to back it out by 1, which would be 2 smooths, regular smooths. And I think this is what I'm going to go with for the gapping between my boards. So I'm going to select this here. I actually can select this whole entire centerpiece here if I wish, and go ahead and just lay down this and fill in the gaps. Oops. There's 3. Now, my little base piece is a 2x2, but what I'm wanting is at least a 4x4 when I do this part of it. I want it to be double whatever the thickness is of the section that I'm going to be using it on in direction, whatever direction I'm going. And for this one, I'm going this way, so I'm making this way. This is actually a little bit bigger than what I need, but it'll work. Now, I'm going to take this piece, come to the back side like this. Actually, I need to make it a little bit wider, don't I? Alright. We'll make it a little bit extra big there. Now we'll copy this, and let's see if this will fit in there. There we go. Now, come out to the outside side of this board that we have created and align this little platform that we've created with your mouse. Just kind of scroll it in like this. So we have like one voxel poking out the outside, and you've got plenty poking onto the inside. And here, what we're going to do is, if that's the top voxel, we're going to go down 1, go in deletion mode and click. There's the top one, go down 1, down 1, and we're just going to repeat that process all the way down. And you can vary the thickness of your boards in this fashion. Instead of doing, every other one, you would do like, jump 2 or jump 3, depending on how big the boards that you're wanting to create. I'm going to just kind of jump through this really quick. And I think I'm going to leave the bottom one there a little bit big. But you can see, we get this really weird kind of squiggly squag looking thing kind of going on here. That's okay, because we're going to put it back into the sizing that we want it to be. And this is kind of cool, because I can take this right here that we created earlier, I'm going to cut this, Control X, and I'm going to sit that off to the side. Now you're probably wondering, why don't I just delete it? Well, you can use that for inside pillars or support beams for your roofing system afterwards. It's already in the angle that you want. It'll fit right up against everything that you've already created. So just go ahead and save that. But this right here is kind of what we're after. I'm going to do a Control X to cut that. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste this. And this should be the exact angle that we're looking for this section, and it is. It meets up here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that, but it meets up right here, and it meets up over here, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Now in here, I'm going to turn off all of this paste with air, paste with interior, turn all that off, won't need it. Let's go ahead and paste this one. We're going to drag it over to the other side, like so, and we're going to drop it down there. Now, take your line tool, increase it up to that 4x4 because our platforms are 4x4. We're going to go into deletion mode. So bring your line tool up and hit F. And this will swap us over to the deletion mode for the line tool. I'm going to bring this up and basically repeat the line process on this side of it. Now, make sure you're paying close attention to these boards that we have cut out, okay? Boom. It's starting to form up. Now, it does not do it one time to get it flat exactly the way you want it. So go ahead and do this process 3 to 5 times, and that will normally clear up everything to the point where it's smooth enough to actually attach it to what we've already created. You can see it's already created these pretty intricate boards in here. And you can pull out a few of these, set them off to the side, and put them back in later, just so you can get a little bit of variance in between them, the different boards. But as you can see, we've got this really neat process here where we kind of cleaned it up and it's looking good. Now, we're going to do this on the other side as well. Now, from here, if you get too close over here, if you notice, I'm kind of bringing this in by 1. And I'm going to go in by 1 on the other side. You can get your boards a little bit thinner, but if you notice, it starts distorting them quite a bit. Now this is kind of up to you. If this is kind of what you're after, so be it. It's not bad. But I will advise to make sure that it's the outside portion of those boards that are flat, so that they will actually connect to your roofing system the way you wish, like this. And then you can take all those pieces there and use that as your boards. Like I said, it's up to you and how you deal with it. But for this, I'm going to back this out, and I'm going to stick with my 2 voxel thick boards for the purposes of this tutorial. That's mainly because we get something that's a little bit more uniform. And they're a little bit bulkier, beefier, you know, for the Halas builds. Macho. Alright, if you notice, I'm getting a little bit of artifacting here on the outside. Take your line tool, run it down it, smooth up the side pieces, just to kind of do some final cleaning. Like so. And this portion is pretty much done. Alright, so now I can take this piece, copy it, and come over to the thatch piece that I painted earlier. Paste, bring this down, and put it into position. And here, paste without air, and boom, we have our boards, like so. And it gives it a really neat look. It looks like somebody had, you know, like handmade and put it down. Now, this piece over here that we pulled off to the side, now, you know, depending on the size of your build, you can leave it like this and use this as one of your pillars, or you could actually go through that same type of a process that we have been working with here to make, say, a smaller pillar. You can copy that piece, drop it down. We're going to double cut in half this thing. So I'm going to bring it out by 2, delete. Now I'm going to copy what I already currently have. Copy, paste, Put this down in there, like so. Push it in by 2 voxels and delete. And now I have a beam that's a little bit thinner, smaller, and I can take this and pop it onto my little roof section that we've created there. Copy. And we're going to put this onto the inside. And this could be the inside part of your roofing system. We'll paste without air. And you see I get a little bit of deformation up in this right here. That's really not too much of an issue because over here I have the original. If it gets knocked off just a little bit, not too much of a problem. I'm going to select a 2 voxel thick piece here, and I'm going to clean up all of that wood piece there just by pasting back into the center portion of this. So push it over by 1 and click. You can see I'm getting a little bit of artifacting and deformations here on the inside. You can take your line tool, run it down that surface, to clean it up. And this side over here looks pretty good. But this right here is pretty much the kind of like a kicker to guide you in to create like these Halas roof sections that have the board slats on the inside, and it still has a solid roof section on the outside. What you kind of do with this is, like I said, it's always up to you. Take what you can from these tutorials and pretty much show me what you can do with them. If you give me 1 moment, I'll show you what I've done with them. And this is the exterior of that roof section, and I kind of extended the ends out. And on the interior, you can kind of see how the look of it is in here. It's almost log cabinish, which, I mean, it turns out really good, and you get some pretty interesting visuals from it. Like I said, take it, use it, and see what you can come up with. All right, so let's move on to the next section. And these next little tidbits I'm going to toss at you are actually kind of cool because they're more of a ornamental part of the Halas build. You know, it's stuff that most people really don't notice, but without them being there, it doesn't make other things shine. So I'm just going to kind of show you some little tidbits just to make things easier for you. Okay. Now, the first thing I wanted to show you here is an offset pillar. Being able to take something that's like a 2x2 pillar and be able to put that pillar into a wall without distorting the actual wall itself. And this actually works pretty cool if you have, say, a slight little angle to it or something like that, and you can take this and sit it right into it and it doesn't disturb it. So let's go ahead and create one of those right quick. And what we're going to do is first create an offset. And I'm going to create like this little bitty wall over here. Something high enough that I can create a really, really long offset. And let's go to a solid color so you can see this a little bit better. There we go. I'm going to make the little bottom platform. Change my color. And now I'm going to go to the line tool. I'm going to shrink this down to a 2x2, like so. And I'm going to ride this up the wall. Click on the bottom and then ride it up the wall, like so. I'm going to hit F to make sure that I'm on the actual add mode. And just by running this up the wall here, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm close to it, but you'll get the idea. Okay. Let me make sure that I am right. Should be 7 voxels. And I am corrected. That looks good. I should just paint it and didn't worry about it, right? There's 7 voxels. So 2 by 2, add it up to 7, and we get this. Now, if you notice, this voxel, you see this comes in halfway into that voxel space. That is what we're after, because the rest of it has deformed and has elongated itself into a roaming vector. And this would allow us 1 plus 1.5, and which will give us a 2.5 offset, which will allow us to create what we're fixing to create next, right? Okay, so first we grab this, copy. We need to create an actual offset voxel first. So we're going to paste that down, and I'm going to drop this back by 1 this way, so that that angle faces what it is that I'm fixing to paste down. And I'm going to go into deletion mode. Boom. And that's going to put it back into a pretty close to a default voxel sizing. I'm now going to take this, if you notice, that's a single voxel. I cannot grab the top half of this voxel here. So we're going to grab that, I'm going to copy it, paste, and I'm going to put down 4 of these in a square. I'm now going to take this, copy it, paste it, and we're going to stack this about 14 voxels high. So let's bring this upwards, fairly high there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we got 14 voxels worth in height. I'm now going to grab the bottom, pull it all the way up like so. And if I come down to about right there, I'm actually on the last or the first voxel that we actually placed down. So I have all of this. And here I'm going to actually do some smoothing. So go to my smooth tool. I'm going to smooth this using our F key. So press and hold F, and we're going to smooth this down until we get the radius of the pillar that we want to create. And that's pretty close right there. We get a nice kind of a rounded shape to it for the most part. The more you kind of play with it, the better you will be for this. All right, now I am going to grab the bottom right here, like so. Let me change my color, and I'm going to paint this section by section. There's one. If you notice how much of an offset this is actually created, it's created like a 2.5 or some call that a 1.5. It's like two and a half voxels in total. But this is what we're after, okay? Now, if I copy this now, if this one doesn't come out where you need it, check the ones that are above it. Let's go ahead and paint this wood. Like so. Copy. Now, let's create another wall here. Let's bring this up. And the cool thing with what I can do with this is I could take this piece, I can rotate it, bring this out, I can paste it. Now you can kind of see how this is sticking out of the wall. It's inset into the wall. It's actually got a 1 voxel gap between the actual voxel and the wall, but visually it's showing it as actually in the wall. So this allows us the ability to overlap one voxel with another, and in turn we get a really neat and clean look to it. Very sharp. We don't have to do any smoothing or anything like that, and it's barely sticking out of the wall. Now if this wall had, say, a slight angle to it of some sort, and for example, if I take, let's take that voxel here, and let's mirror it again, bring this up. This is sort of kind of what I'm after here, I think. It's going to mess up my, no, it did mess up my offset, good. Let's go ahead and take this section, and I'm going to just put like an angle in it, and copy this, or better yet, I can just select the top, bring this up, use my add tool or fill tool. So say I have, like, I don't know, some kind of design work here like this. I'm going to grab that little piece there that we have created. I can take this and do the same exact thing, except this time I can put it up into that raised section, and it doesn't deform it. It retains it, and that way we can actually have something like this on a curved face, and it doesn't ruin it. And that is like really cool, little working with little design things and trying to keep things as clean as possible on your build as you're building. You can do all kinds of stuff. Now the cool thing about this thing is I can take this and I can grab, I'm pretty sure there's one in here somewhere, one that has kind of reverted back to regular voxels of some sort. There usually is. Let's see what we can find. No, I could be totally wrong. I think they're all off. But let's go ahead and create another one. I can create another one. And see what I can do about smoothing this down close to it. I didn't smooth too many times, so let's go ahead and grab out one that is actually about the same size. Let's rotate this around, bring it down. There's my 1 voxel gapping. This is where it actually resides. So I'm going to come out one more. Now here I can paste, and I can extrude that piece that we've offset outwards and still retain that offset. So now I've got, like this little pole kind of sticking out of here, and it looks clean. So play with it. And from here you can take rope and wrap it around there and treat it just like you normally would. Alright, so next I'm going to do it. This next one's a quickie, and it's a play right off of this one here. And I'm going to be using these boards that we created in one of the other tutorials. And this looks kind of funky, but I just kind of pulled some stuff out really quick. but you'll get the idea of what it is I'm after here. Now, going back to this, let's go ahead and make another. I'm going to do a 2x2. Bring this up to your 7 voxel mark. And I'm going to take that one right there. So let's paint that one. And I want to paint this iron. And not only any iron, I want to use the Halas iron, which is this one. And let's go ahead and paint that one. Let's copy that out. Let's paste it. Let's bring this out. Go into deletion mode. Zoom in here so you can see this a little better. Paste it down. Drop it back. Deletion mode. Make us our, offset piece there. Copy this. And we're going to do the same thing, except this time we're not making a 4x4. We're making just a single tower of the 14 voxels. Okay, so let's bring this up like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, so we got our single little piece kind of going on here. Grab the bottom, push it all the way to the top, like so. And we're going to do a controlled smooth with this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's about as far as I'm going to probably need to take it, I think. Let me try it 1 or 2 more times here, and if it doesn't work, then we'll see what we can do here. Let's do a test paint. And that looks good. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that, that 1.5 voxel, outside of the default voxel space. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So let's Control Z out of it. Let's go to my selection and select that piece. Control C to copy. And that's all I need to do. I'm set. I've got exactly what it is I'm looking for. So I can take this now, put it over here on my boards. Let's rotate this around so to actually do what I'm looking to do here. I'm going to go on my board and I'm going to put nails in it. Voila! You've got nails. Just make sure that you're keeping a 1 voxel gap in between the placements. That way that they don't kind of pull together kind of like that. That's pretty much what you're going to be after in this kind of thing. But in this fashion, you can be able to put nails in your boards. So with that, guys, hope this has helped. I figured I'd throw in some little decorum type stuff in here as well. So, enjoy, and I'll see you on the next tutorial.